Maganda sa ngayon ang laro ng Barangay Ginebra. Noong mga nakaraang conferences, parang merong tug of war between settling down and running the system and them also trying to maximize yung skill set ng players sa roster nila by running the floor and playing faster. At saka nung tinry naman nila na tumakbo at bilisan ng laro, it felt reckless and fragile na parang anytime pwedeng ikatalo nila yon. Pero for some reason, ngayong conference, mabilis sila maglaro and they shoot a good amount of 3-pointers. Pero yung games nila, as of late, feels like the usual boring Ginebra games na alam natin, which is good, di ba? Kasi ibig sabihin nun, they're in proper Ginebra form. Pero bakit kaya ganun? Outside of their obvious cast of stars and rising stars, ano pa kaya yung nagpo-push sa Ginebra to play this kind of way ngayong conference? And actually, it's their bench unit. And as we can see here dito sa website na to, by the way, itong video na to, this is going to be more of a chat. Parang, usap-usap lang, kwento-kwento lang, parang state of the nation, state of the affairs. Parang, meeting lang, ganun, alignment. Wala tayong i-breakdown na clips today, pero we're just going to talk about the state of the team. Meron lang ako napansin sa team na to na I feel like it's worth pointing out and talking about. Kasi this is something new. And ironically, kung babalikan natin yung San Mig Coffee days ni Coach Tim Cone, parang ginawa niya rin to eh. Ganito rin yung San Mig Coffee noon. And ngayon nakikita ko with Ginebra yung ganitong klaseng distribution of wealth. Pero by the way, makikita natin dito, in terms of minutes per game, kung isa-sort natin, merong malinaw na 5 players na 30 plus per game, di ba? That's going to be Justin Brownlee, RJ Barrientos, Stephen Holt, Scottie Thompson, and Troy Rosario. Most of the time, previous years, ever since hinandle ni team ko ng Ginebra, palagi yan. Merong 5 to 6 players na kukunin lahat ng minutes. And then merong 2 players na tig 10 minutes, ganon. Or parang 7.5 man rotation or 8.5 man rotation. Kasi yung and a half parang merong token 4 minutes, ganon, na binigay lang. Like the Sunny is still here, ganon. Yung pinagbigyan lang ng isang quarter just to test out kung magandang matchup. Pero this conference, weirdly enough, and it's hindi weirdly nice nga na nangyayari yun, na yung Ginebra, andun pa rin yung heavy contribution and heavy minutes, heavy, usage of their starting 5 or yung usual stars nila. Pero outside of maybe Japet, sama na natin si Japet, 6 na players. Outside of those 6 players, yung bench unit supporting cast ng Ginebra, yung distribution of, wealth dun sa part na yon, okay pa din eh. Like Isaac Go, 15, Nard Pinto, 14, Torres, 12, Jeremiah Gray, 10. Even yung mga tiga 8 minutes lang, tigpa 5 minutes, meaningful pa rin siya sa konteksto ng laro. Kasi yun nga, heavy minutes yung 5, pero yung bench nila, doon na naghahati-hati yung players. Like, think of a team like a Rain or Shine, diba? Yung Rain or Shine, they have 13 players. They can rotate up and down, diba? From 1 to 13, equal opportunity. Yung Ginebra, they have their usual 5 players na grabe nga yung minutes played, like these 5. Pero kumbaga yung bench minutes na limited are being shared by really good role players pa din naman. And I think yung tipo ng players kasi na meron sila dun sa collection na yon of the supporting cast na naghahati-hati dun sa latak or sa tira ng starting unit na considerable pa rin naman, 15 minutes or 14 minutes. Sa konteksto ng basketball game, those are very, lengthy and decent minutes to get as a role player. Pero yun nga, yung tipo ng players kasi na available for Ginebra, para sa guards, they have contrasting players in Nard Pinto and Jeremiah Gray. Ngayon na yung offense ng Ginebra, mas nagli-lean towards spacing, pace and space. Medyo lumalabas yung skills ng isang Jeremiah Gray outside of spotting up. Meron na siyang nakikita natin na nagdi-dribble na siya, nag-ooperate na siya sa pick and roll from time to time, gumagawa na siya ng mga extra pass na hindi natin nakikita noon, na-unlock yung skill set kumbaga. Pero if we compare Nard to Jeremiah Gray, these are two different players. Kumbaga pag Nard Pinto, you expect point guard, duty, settling down the team and playing solid defense, hitting occasional 3-pointers. Jeremiah Gray naman, when you put him on the floor, defensively, help defense-wise, lengthy siya, pero on ball, doon siya nagsistruggle. Wala na siyang laterals masyado. Pero yung length niya and yung shooting, doon ka mag-expect, which is kabaliktaran ng Nard Pinto. Para naman sa wings, it's basically the same thing. Diba, dalawang players na may stark difference sa laro, offering completely different skill sets. Kung sasama pa natin si Maya Gray sa wings, o let's just say, tatlong magkakaibang players. Si Maya Gray, again, same na sa mention natin kanina, but for Ralph ko naman, you get more stability, you get more playmaking. Pero yung shooting, medyo mas angat kay Jeremiah Gray, mas consistent. And then yung isa pang wing nila is Sunny Steele, kabaliktaran ng Ralph ko naman. Wala masyadong playmaking, wala masyadong shooting, pero may length and yung hustle, athleticism, andun. Kayang makipagbugbugan kung talagang kakailanganin. And then yung bigs naman ng Ginebra, dahil sa addition ni Carino na unfortunately last game hindi nakapaglaro. Diba? Ngayon kung titignan natin yung bigs ng Ginebra, meron na rin silang parang Japet or Troy Jr. sa bench. Kasi to me yung Go, ito si Go, tsaka si Torres, basically very similar type of player sila. Though magkaiba sila na binibigay. Diba si Torres, stretch big na shooter, talagang shooter. Pero when you run Torres sa pick and roll, yung hands niya medyo problema. Hindi ganung fit talaga si Torres for pick and roll. Mas pick and pop siya. Si Isaac Go naman, yes, stretch big din, can pick and pop. But Isaac Go, I think, offers more rebounding consistency and rim protecting compared to Norberto Torres. Kasi si Isaac Go, mukha siyang target, 'di ba? Mukha siyang tina-target. Pero when you watch him sa drop defense, he plays it really well. And yung rebounding niya or yung presensya niya, yung physicality niya, yes, mukha siyang let's just sabihin na natin, mukhang malamya si Isaac Go. Pero when you watch him, very physical player siya. Mahilig siya makipagbungguan and he eats up contact really well. So, kumbaga, compared to Torres, si Torres kasi, kumbaga, he's the smallest out of all the bigs na meron sila. Pero he looks the tallest. Outside of Japet, mukha siyang yung pinakamatangkad. Mukha siyang yung pinakamalaki. Pero si Isaac Go naman, siya yung pinakamalapad. And then, yung ngayon, yung newest addition, si Kemar Carino, di ba? Siya naman yung in-betweener na more on shooting and rim protecting. So, kumbaga, kung si Isaac Go tsaka si Torres, basically, 1A, 1B. Or let's just say, Isaac Go is the first option. Second option is si Norbert Torres, similar to Isaac Go. Kumbaga yung Japet, Troy, tsaka Kemar, tatlong very similar players din yon. But si Kemar naman, more on stretching the floor and rim protecting. So ibang dimension, pero similar in terms of, umbrella definition of what type of player he is. So now with Carino in, 'di ba? May isa pang lengthy big na medyo slight naman siya in terms of frame, pero could be another option or he could offer Ginebra a different look pagdating sa half-court offense nila. Kasi yun nga, si Torres hindi ganun ka-effective sa role. Si Isaac Go naman, hindi rin ganun ka-effective sa role. Maybe si Kemar, yes, he's more of a popper, pero mas may potential siya to develop into more of a popper. Ay, roller instead. Or kung at the very least gusto siya talagang gawing 4 ni Tim Cone, kagaya sa mga nabasa ko sa article. Pero siya i-park sa corner and then pag may dumrive, kakat siya sa baseline. Throw him lobs, diba? Or kick the ball out to him sa spot up 3 sa corner. Pwede siyang ganong klaseng player. Para siyang, kumbaga, multiverse Balti. Ganon. Multiverse na poor man's Balti na mas outside-oriented. So, not bad. Another option. Diba? Kung maglalaro si Kemar ng at least 8 minutes, mapag-healthy na siya. Or at least 5 to 8 minutes, diba? Malaking bagay na yon. So, yun, diba? Kumbaga, when we look at their roster, meron silang 5-6 na players na consistent na makakakuha yan ng 30 to 38 minutes. May isa yung pang-6 siguro, maybe around 20 to 23. Recently, si Troy off the bench siya. Siya yung kumukuha ng 23 minutes. And then, pero pagkatapos nung 6 na yun, hati-hati na eh. Kumbaga, ranging from 5 to 15 minutes, di ba? Naghahati-hati na sila. And kahit sinong ipasok ni Coach Tim Cone, kahit sinong ibalasa niya, meron siyang nakukuha na production. Hindi ganun kalaki, pero considerable enough na effective yung Ginebra all throughout the game. Which is, I think that's another dimension na napupuntahan nila ngayon. Kasi bago yun eh. Bago yung ganun. Bago sa Ginebra yung ganun, na meron silang reliable bench unit. Ang tagal na walang ganun. Kumbaga, last pa na pinaka naaalala ko na meron silang reliable bench unit, Sol Mercado, Dave Marcelo, di ba? Yung mga ganong klaseng Chris Ellis at the time for a couple of conferences, di ba? Yung bench unit nila, parang Sol Mercado, Chris Ellis, Dave Marcelo. So, ngayon ko na lang ulit nakikita. Pero ngayon, instead of just 3, parang buo eh. As in, mula 7 hanggang 11. Maybe Raymond Aguilar including him, is pushing it na. Kumbaga, ano na yon, blasphemous na. Pero siguro hanggang Sunny Steele, at times, pwede kang umabot. Solid, contribution. What if pa kaya kung may Jason David, diba? So, ayun. Yun lang naman yung gusto kong pag-usapan sa video na to. Parang, imagine nyo na lang this is a podcast episode dito sa channel. Gusto ko lang talagang chumika at makipag-usap about sa Hinebra.